Every weekend, I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannon's. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
But it is a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to your Friday night broadcast here on SRW TV. Tonight, we bring to you all the live action of the Warren and Brown Tools IMSA Shadow Series. This is round 6, and tonight we come to you live from Monza GP. Tonight, it is I, Nathan Shibby Howard, and our new but not so new producer on the cameras this evening, Mr. Peter Gretton. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Shibby. Good evening to all the viewers. Hopefully everything sounds and looks great. Yeah, two guys behind the, was used to being behind the buttons. Just while you're in my company, just keep your hands above the desk, please, Shibby. But Monza, it's a great track to put some multi-class action together. As I've got a few frame issues here, we might have to dump this a couple of things, Shibby, but we'll get into some of this racing. Multi-class GTP and GTP-E here, 3 here at Monza, rather. It's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, it definitely is, mate. Monza is one of those really exciting, but you know, it doesn't look exciting when we're looking at the track, Matt. It looks like a very simple standard track, but I tell you what, those long straights and those very fast chicanes as well really make for some entertaining racing, especially that we've got the GT3s and GTPs out on track. It's going to be quite interesting to see how they all go fighting for those same positions out there.
Yeah, well, we've just gone into qualifying now. The GT3s are out on track. We're going to have to dump quite a little bit, so I'm going to throw to you, Shibby. You're used to it, and I'm going to fix this and get back because it's not looking good.
Yeah, all good, mate. No problems. We are trying to test a couple of things in the background. We might be stressing out Pete's computer, but we are in the middle of qualifying right now. It looks like the GT3s are out on track on their own, so they have split qualifying this evening. So let me get up my timing so I can see what's going on. And right now we have Ben Faulkner setting the quickest lap so far with a 1:48.07. Jamie Christensen sitting in behind him. Whoa, actually Adam Hughes now just jumping Jamie Christensen there with a 1:48.14. Christensen 1:48.25. Sean Benici 1:48.52. Harry Dodds 1:48.77. So already in the GT3 class, we're looking at absolutely nothing between these drivers tonight. So I dare think we will be in for one heck of a race. More times flying through now. Callan Hodgkinson now moving up into 6th, provisional P6 with a 1:48.88. Still a little bit of time to gain there, but only 10 100ths, yep, of a second off Dodds. Aaron Schotter 1:48.95. Patrick Frame 1:49.03. So the GT3s are out in force. As I said, they have split the qualifying this evening, which is great. Give the GT3s a bit of time to get out there and not be hassled by those much faster GTP cars. And I'm sure they will be flowing out. What have we got? We've got 30 minutes qualifying. It's going to be 15 minutes for the GT3s and 15 minutes for the GTPs. We've already got a few people joining tonight, so thanks for all joining us. Ty Delaney's in there and says, go the fish.
Looks like we've got this stabilised a little bit. Just a bit of a frame rate issue. I've dumped a couple of things that should stabilise. I'll keep on to it. But yeah, these GT3s, I like the split qualifying, Shibby, in this format, because it gives these guys, as you said, a bit of a chance to track for themselves without getting all the fear of a big, scary GTP driver in your mirror, as we'll see or have seen throughout this season already, that they come up on you quick in the mirror. And well, these guys, they don't have to worry about that at this stage, because, well, there's none on track. The first 15 minutes is they've got the track to themselves.
Yeah, which is great to see. They need that a bit extra time to not get hassled by those GTP cars, because we're going to see a massive difference in lap times. I'm just trying to help you out. I think I might know what be sucking all your broadband, mate.
I've dumped cams, I've dumped your screen, so it's not either of them.
Oh, interesting. I was going to say, I think it might be the cams. It's definitely smoothed out a bit now. It's looking good on the broadcast though, mate. Matty Senior's joined in and said, let's go Hughesy. So We will we'll keep on top of all the action this evening. So Husey up there in provisional P3 right now, 148.084. So some cracking times happening out there. Really good to see. Ryan Green, though, sitting a bit further back. Hasn't managed to get a time in yet. In that great-looking Alpha Venturi Porsche there. Chasing down. Is that just in front of him? Still haven't learnt the GT3 liveries just yet, as this is the second time I've been on board.
That'd be Ben Faulkner in the Ferrari, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is. Yep, that is. So he's following Ben Faulkner here. Hopefully he'll get some of that draft assistance out of Ben in the Vermilion Motorsports car. We'll see what Green can do. He's already on 2 best sectors and 2 average sectors. How's he looking as he comes towards the final sector in the start-finish line? Not enough. So he didn't set a time. Must have had an off-track, or that was his outlap. So definitely didn't get that time down.
He's got plenty of draft if it was his outlap, so he'll get set and go again. We've got Patrick Frayne, car number 8. He's on a flyer. I'll jump onto him. He's just finished his lap actually, and 147.8. Where did he end up with his time? 149.0. So still 2 tenths off the pace for Frayne. Still plenty of time though, or 4 minutes actually. Better eat my words. He probably only got another
lap maybe. Yeah, one more lap possibly. We'll see how he goes. So 15 minutes qualifying and a 45-minute race for our IMSA Shadow Series. So we'll definitely be interested to see how these lads go once they actually get out there racing. Fairly consistent times across the board, which is great to see. I'm sure the GTP drivers are keen to get out here and start their qualifying session. Massive shout out to Warren and Brown Tools, some of the best tools Australian owned for over 40 years. So definitely go and check them out. Always got some awesome deals on. And again, as I said, completely Australian owned, Australian family run. So thank you to Warren and Brown Tools for allowing us to put on this awesome series here this evening.
Yeah, it's great. You need sponsors to help out. And all the links of them, all the sponsors are in the description. Don't share the love and support them as they support this league. So make sure you get down there and do that. And don't forget, 1,000 subscribers, Shibby. You've been working on this for a while. 1,000 subscribers and you win a... You win a pretty good prize, a sim rig from Racecraft Simulations.
Yeah, you go into a lucky hat draw. There it is on your screen right now. You'll go into a lucky hat draw to win that fantastic rig and seat, thanks to John and the team at Racecraft Simulations. So all you got to do is subscribe to win. And at 1,000 subscribers, which we are only 89 off, we will do a lucky hat draw and someone will be announced the lucky winner of that seat and rig thanks to Racecraft Simulations. So if you're not subscribed, do it now, as it looks like our GTPs might be getting ready to go racing as we are getting towards the final end of this qualifying session. Jamie Christensen now has taken the lead in the Ferrari with a 147.87. So first guy to break into the 47s, with Ben Faulkner only trailing by a smidgen on a 148.07. And Adam Hughes 1/1000th of a second behind Faulkner on a 148.08. Sean Benici 148.09. That is ridiculously close times.
Well, we've seen in the weeks prior to this one that the GT3 seem to have the battles, and especially in and around that 3, 4, 5, 6 position areas. We watch a couple of Frog League Juice drivers drive around now. I'm not too sure who's on the lap and who's towing who around and who's going to benefit out of this. We've got Harry Dodds up ahead in the Porsche, and his teammate behind him. So a couple of teams working together. Harry Dodds, he's had the pace in this series. Let's see if he can pull it together, and just a couple of little lacks of concentration later in the race has cost him positions.
Yeah, got to try and stay consistent even throughout the whole race. He is definitely on a flyer. He's set 3 personal bests so far. So he is definitely looking to get a decent time in here. Looks like it is going to be one of the last laps for the GT3s, for the GTPs to come out. So he's definitely starting to push now. Just dropped a sector, not his best. Going to hit the start-finish line. He will improve and jump up into provisional P5 with a 148.240. So absolute solid effort there from Dodds on the last lap.
His boss man, Steve Sinkovich, he's just done a 153. His quickest was a 152.41, so about a second off his quickest. He's down there in 14th position. Got a few other drivers on laps as well, or it looks like actually they're all on the out laps. They've been told to, skedaddle, get off, out on track, or off track, sorry, and these big boys are the ones out on the out lap now. Absolutely balls that up.
That's all right, mate. I do that on a regular on these broadcasts, so don't be too stressed, mate. Yeah, the GTPs, the LMDH, BMW, and what was the new? Is it a Merc that was brought in? The BMW and, correct me if I'm wrong, the LMP2. What's the other? Someone tell me in the chat, what was the new LMDH that was brought in? Because you had the BMW and there was another one just recently brought in, one of the last updates. And for the life of me,
the Caddy, I know.
The Caddy, the Cadillac, that's the one. Yes, the Cadillac. I've had a bit of time to play around in the LMDH BMW, and man, it is an absolute blast to drive. These things are wicked fast and stick to the road like absolute glue.
Yes,
a few more people.
It's surprising how much trust you can put into these cars, that they can, the amount of grip that they have. It's, I don't know, I can't fathom. I don't have enough guts and courage to take the corners as quick as them to build up. And of course, the slower you go, the less downforce and the worse the car reacts. So these guys out on track right now. Scott Hasler for one. He's got 3 purples. Oh, it just turned green. So they thought about giving him a 3rd purple, but Brendan Grosh knocked him out off there. So both of these guys, Grotchy and Hasler, they're on flyers at the minute, getting their bankers down early.
Or getting their bacon down early. I like getting my bacon down early as well, mate. As soon as I get up, I want that bacon in the fry pan. But yeah, I love the look of these juiced cars. It's great to see so many more teams starting to fill this league. Scott Hasler first across the finish line, 132.527. Look at that time difference to the GT3s. If you are new to multi-class racing, there is a massive difference between the GTPs and GT3 classes. As you can clearly see, Troy Maguire now 132.953. Sean Mazzomo. So, is it Sean? Geez, I better double check that. Simon Mazzomo. Just get bumped down. So Blake Delaney there, the fishy driver, 133.06. So these are only their first laps. I'm expecting to see some more of these dropping, but look at that timing table fill up as these drivers come screaming through.
A couple of teammates here now. Velocity boys, that they'll be out in force here tonight, using each other for the qualifying. We've still got a load of time. We've only just entered into 5 minutes. Scott Hasler's on another one. He's got purple P2 again, but watch out for Jordan Ferguson and co to throw down some laps as they're working together nicely as a team. Dougie Gowans is out there as well. Where is he sitting 7th? 134.1 is his time, so still a little bit off the pace yet, but he's
only first lap, mate.
Yeah, probably missed out on the cams today because they had to dump in. But yeah, plenty of time though, 20 minutes.
Yeah, first lap. I definitely think we're going to see these times drop a little more. I don't even think we've touched on the weather tonight, mate. So the track temps actually, it's relatively decent for these guys out here with a 28 degrees Celsius track temp. So it's not overly burning hot. It's right in that nice middle ground of, you know, where the tires are going to be good and sticky. They're still going to have to be careful how hard they push these because it is a 45-minute race. So it's going to be interesting to see how they tackle this, especially with those tight chicanes all through this track.
Yeah, when I've known in the past, Shibby, that a couple other leagues that I was around, that they a bit sheepish to add in the chicanes here at Monza, but when I opened up the schedule and had a look that it was the Grand Prix layout and the chicanes were in fact in play, I was excited, to be honest, because it's especially on restarts and race starts, you really got to have your wits about you, because if you're at the back, especially we'll keep an eye on that when we go green, the back markers or the guys that qualify a little bit further down, they've really got to have their wits about them, because their braking marker is quite a bit closer to that finish line than they expect.
Yeah, definitely, mate. You might have to, just quickly, buddy, might have to pull your bit rate back a bit.
Can't do that while I'm live.
Oh, you can't? Oh, bugger, because I can update mine while I'm live. Anyway, that's the issue. So it's looking a bit jerky because it's trying to pump out a higher bit rate than it possibly actually can. So we will look into that. Hopefully it smooths out a little bit over the night. But it's not looking too bad. It's looking pretty crisp. Guys, if there's any sound issues or anything, please let us know. So we can. We got 2 producers on tonight, so it's going to be a bunch of fun. All right, more times coming in now. Scott Hassler still leading that charge right now. 132.53, so it's gone faster again. Troy Maguire, 132.95, so still getting some times in. 2 guys into the 32s now. Blake Delaney only just sitting outside the 32s, with Simon Mazzomo as well. Really, I think, wanting to get down into those 32s. Connor Nixon now just appears out of nowhere, jumps up into provisional P4 with a 133.08, 2 1,000ths of a second off the back of Delaney. You can see just how close these multi-class races are with the times between the GT3s and the GTPs.
Troy Maguire, he's going to finish the lap. I don't think he's going to improve. It could have been his out lap. We'll see if he continues and goes again. 7 minutes to go in the qualifying session. He's definitely going again. He makes his way down to this part of the track, but we'll have to keep our wits about us and our eyes open each and every time that the cars come down here, Shibby, because there's going to be either a great pass or someone's mistake turned into a big accident. So down there, just about every time, there's going to be something like that happen. But
was that Connor Nixon, and that looked like one of the Fishy boys, was it? Was that Delaney?
I think it was one of them.
Caught up in that.
It's Chris Miller.
It was Miller, was it? Funky Miller. Oh, yep, that's unfortunate.
That cleared it up.
Yeah, that really cleared it up, mate. Yep. We saw Miller. Yep, it was definitely Miller that hit the wall. So we're glad to know that that's sorted.
Hassler, Blake Delaney, Troy Maguire, that's your top or provisional top 3, 32.5, 32.8, 32.9. So Hassler, he's got 3/10 on the field, and we've seen in a couple of the other rounds that there was only a couple to get into that next stage or the next quicker second, so to speak, being the 32s, and we've got 3 drivers thus far. And Connor Nixon, I don't know, 33.0 and how he's driving, he may be able to pull something out here. He's just entered the track again, or he's 0.8 of a second through to start again, I'm guessing. But I reckon he can get up there into the 2s, Connor Nixon, and try and push one of these guys off. But Blake Delaney, Troy Maguire and Hassler are all out there, so they're not confident that their times are going to stand.
Mate, their times are so close. It's going to be hard to see. What do we got left? Just within 5 minutes. So they're all still pushing forward to lock these quick times in. Again, though, you know what I'm always interested in to see, right? You can be quick in qualifying and then absolutely have a shocker when you're racing around people. You could be slow in qualifying and then for some reason end up the top because you just race consistent and how you view your driving around other drivers is just better than other drivers who can hit a qualifying lap fast. So talking to my cousin today, some of the guys out there know him from the OCC, ACC League, Samwise Holmes. He started racing in F1 in Top Split here in the Australasian Championship. He qualified second last to a guy that didn't even set a lap. He finished the race in 4th place. And that just shows that he was more comfortable racing around those drivers than he was setting fast laps. So, mate, it's anyone's game regardless of where you land on the grid.
Yeah, well, we've seen that the GTPs come across the GT3s at least 2 times within a 45-minute race, and well, we've got that again here tonight. So they've got to keep their wits about it. And what I like about the selection in race lengths, I'm not too sure if this come into it, Shibby, but it seems that the GTP cars come across the GT3 class cars within the last couple of laps, and that spices it up. And if you've got the top 4 GTP battling it out, top 4 and the GT3 battling it out like we have, it really juices it up. And you don't want to make a mistake, and you don't want to be slowed down, but it's a part of the parcel. But that's on this side of the racetrack. I absolutely love it, and it's another element of difficulty. It's going to be difficult for these guys here at Monza with these chicanes as Blake Delaney bails out of his lap in a fashionable way.
Mate, there's only one way to bail out of a lap, and it's fashionable. You have to do it fashionable, mate. Just throws it into the sand. Make sure he's just, he's double checking the sand traps for us this evening to make sure that they're up to standard. I think that's what he's doing for us. So good to see someone else is out there doing it. So
a couple of guys on a lap now. Breeze is out there. He's just started. Keegan Cardwell, he just finished, but he's going again by the look. Ferguson's out there. We've got Connor Nixon on a lap. He's with Mazzomo. There's fairly close on track. Mazzomo actually is going to finish his lap. Or out lap by the look of that. Unless he wasn't happy. Bit of a wiggle. Got time to go again. I think 2 minutes. Oh, you'd be pushing it probably. But actually,
well, if they're out on track, if they're out on track, they should be all right.
I actually was eating my words as you corrected me there. Yeah, it's a open qualifying, so they'll get their time to finish it. So
yeah, as long as they're out on track, they should be good, mate. A little bit different to the sprint rounds. They do have their time to finish their lap if they are out on one. So they've still got plenty of time. Scott Hassler still leading the charge, 132.527. Troy Maguire just has not been able to close that gap. And I tell you what, Blake Delaney has nearly shut that gap on Maguire. So he is so close to the back of him. And Connor Nixon is doing extremely well as well, up in provisional P4. But Simon Mazzomo, Jake Edwards now slotting up into provisional P7. Just got a cracker of a lap into the 133.571. So, mate, again, qualifying is great fun to watch, and it's always good to find out who is our Racecraft Simulations pole sitter. But I tell you, mate, I'm still excited for the race. Like, it's still anybody's game.
Yeah, and I think in this qualifying session that the times are going to come down again, because I've noticed while I've been flicking through a few of these GTP drivers that there's quite a few of them out there warming tyres and doing all the rest to get their tyres and their car perfect to do one last lap, because well, the time's just about to go to checkers. You want to be crossing that the go line now. Who we got on? Scott Hasler's on a lap at 90% through. He'll be on another lap. Connor Nixon, he can go again if he wants. A few of these drivers are going to fall short. Michelson possibly. but he's 81% through his lap at the moment, sitting back there in 10th, 33.6. So still a handful of drivers that can still do get another lap in here. Jake Edwards has gone purple and 2 orange. He's gone green in sector 4. Grotchi has got 4 PBs out there, so he might as well just move up. So times are still coming in. He's got the draft here, Grotch, so he goes green again, moves up to second with that time, Shibby, 32.699, only a tenth away from Hasler. Great time from Grotchi, and I tell you, he'd be owing the fella in front of him a beer after, I think.
Yeah, definitely, mate. What a way to finish that qualifying section there for Brandon Grotch, mate. Locks himself into that P2 start on the last lap. Oh, no, he hasn't. Blake Delaney, the final lap for the Fishy Motorsport driver, just bumps Grotch out. 132.647 to a 132.699. I love how close these guys are racing during the qualifying, so I can only assume that it's only going to get better.
And I did notice a couple of them drivers we just watched cross the line and make good time of it. Well, they were the drivers that I watched, and they were clearly warming up and set to go, and Delaney was one of them, and I thought he might have something special, but I'll tell you, 132.647, I thought 527 from Hasler was going to be almost untouchable. Well, it is, but they get within 1/10 of it. But who's that? Gerard's going again? Mazzomo's going again? I'm not too sure if these laps are going to count. Well, actually, it's on the timing, so of course it is.
Yeah, if they're still up on that timing, mate, it means they got across that start-finish line before the qualifying flag went up. So it looks like Gerard and Mazzomo will get to fill these laps tonight. So we are looking like a pretty packed field. So out of all the classes, we do have 34 cars out on track between the two splits of GTP and GT3. But that will end our Racecraft Simulations qualifying session. Scott Hasler will take pole position and best lap for our GTPs, and Jamie Christensen will take our Racecraft Simulations pole position and best lap for the GT3s. I hope you out there watching our broadcast tonight are ready for some multi-class action here this evening. There is a poll in the chat. I'm loving these polls, and I'm loving all of you guys getting involved with the things we do here at SRW TV. The question is, what's your favorite to drive out of the GT3 and the GTP? Get those votes in as we get ready to go racing here for round 6 for the Warren and Brown Tools, the IMSA Shadow Series.
Scott Hasler with that time of 132.5. Well, he was too good, wasn't he? He's going to be a great competitor to watch here tonight. He's got pole position along Blake Delaney. He had a red-hot crack and got within 0.1 of a second in this, well, his last ditch effort in qualifying. Grotchi and Edwards will have the second row. Troy Maguire and Mazzomo will have the third. Connor Nixon and Michelson will have the fourth, and Ferguson and Adam Simpson will be your top 10, Shibby.
It's a cracking top 10 there for the GTPs, mate. Moving down the list, we've got Jacob O'Reilly, Chris Miller, Funky, Doug Gowans, Ashley DeVries, that's a new name to me, Keegan Caldwell, Matty Gerard, Michael Whiting, and Pat Oliver. The start of our GT3s will have Jamie Christensen and Ben Faulkner lining up next to each other, with Adam Hughes and Sean Benici next to him. Harry Dodds and Patrick Frame will be next in line. Jono Kiley, Callan Hodgkinson, Ryan Green, Aaron Schotter, Alexander Ganotis, Jack Anderson, Ando, Marty Mitchell, Steven Sinkovich, and Braden O'Loughlin will wind out your GT3 grid here this evening.
Yeah,
David Kirby Davey Kirby's pretty stoked that he gets to sit back tonight and listen to the wonderful sounds of Peter Gretton. Friday night done right. Look, mate, it looks like the viewers are stoked you're back on board with the SRW TV team, mate. And I tell you what, I'm pretty pumped to have you back on board with this as well, mate.
Well, the Fishy boys, they know that I'll be rooting for them. I've thrown my commentator's curse around a lot. And I tell you, I've worked a lot of the time. I'm not going to do that here tonight, but it's good to see all you boys still getting around and racing. Don't forget the Fishy boys, hashtag racing for Eddie. So definitely Eddie supports the sim races. Let's give back to him and send all the positive vibes his way. Sit back, Kirby, grab a drink. No doubt you already got one. And let's get this Warren & Brown IMSA Shadow Series underway. If I can put my teeth in, it'll be a cracking Friday night, Shibby.
It sure is, mate. I tell you what, can't get much better. A couple of cold ones and some multi-class racing. I feel sorry for everybody out there watching the broadcast, though, listening to your voice especially, mate. Like, it's already nails in my ears, but here we go to get racing. Oh, I thought that was the start-finish line. Nope, there's two on this track, isn't there, Pete? And we are gone now. Lots of movement off the start-finish line as everybody spreads out to try and find a space to start moving up the field down towards turn one. Cold tyres, ladies and gentlemen. Cold tyres, keep it clean. This is a tight part of the section. Couple of cars already taking the shortcut as they bump and rub 3 wide through there. What is going on? These guys are already pushing hard.
As we got the GT3 guys just making a start, I just missed it a little bit there, but it looks like Christensen and Faulkner have taken off, and Harry Dodds and Hughesy are going around. So I'm not too sure what happened in the backfield of the GT3s, but they look split up pretty early. Shibby.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it. It's very weird to me to not be running the broadcast and commentating at the same time. So I'm trying to keep an eye on what's happening on my end as well. Wow, Hodgkinson close to Gnotis. Oh, that was a bit bumpy through there. Careful where they go side by side.
Just jumping off a battle, which is pretty crappy, but Hosler, Grocci, Delaney, Nixon, McGuire, that's your top 5. And just have a look at this gap early on. We got something happening in race control here as well. A few things happen, but we'll stay on board and keep going further back through this field. But Hasler, Grotch, Delaney, they've out in front, and the GTPs have started fairly nicely. They've spread out really, really early, both classes side by side, though, now for Mizzono and Edwards.
Oh, a few guys cutting through the cut through. Oh, another one over that. They're finding it really tough to get through that tight section of the track down into turn 2. We move back towards the GT3s. Shane Benici here on board of the Frogleaf Juiced racing car. The GT3 drivers are definitely starting to spread out a little bit. Just keep themselves out on track again. As I said, 45 minutes around Monza tonight, so it's going to be an interesting one to see how the pit lane strategies play out this evening as well. I think that's going to really mix up the field.
Yeah, I've just seen a couple of big names just enter pits as well. I think Delaney was quite possibly one of them. Shibby, let's go back, have a look at this start just briefly, because I feel something's going to miss here in both classes. So we're coming down here. We'll go from the green flag, and then we'll go back up so we can try and get a bit better way to see it. They did fan out coming down into into turn 1, turn 2.
I've got 3 deep all over the place there.
Little bit of contact. Freeze the cameras all again. So
the bumping
didn't seem too bad, but I did see a couple of big players. Shibby going to the pit lane. I'll try and dig those drivers out and get back to everyone. But Blake Delaney, he's down back in 8th position. And a few other drivers are out of place as well, but Scott Hasler, he's
looks
got
like
a crack at
Whiting went in the pits, Simpson went in the pits, Gowans went in the pits, so I'm sure, and Jacob O'Reilly. Unless it's actually, Jacob O'Reilly was definitely in the pits, 29 seconds, Gowans was in the pit for 33 seconds, and Whiting was in the pits for 32 seconds.
Here's O'Reilly. See what happens.
That's why everybody was into the pits, mate. There's the 4 cars I was just mentioning, so that is unfortunate. Not the way we want to see a race start, that's for sure. Scott Hasler really starting to push it out and break that gap from behind him. He's a solid 2 seconds ahead of his teammate Brandon Roach. So they've got pretty clean air there, and Connor Nixon again is 2 seconds back to them. And Troy Maguire is a second off the back of Nixon. So the front 3 are definitely starting to stretch their legs and try and get away from the draft. But Mazzomo is going to have a bit of a battle on his hand with Edwards and Mitchelson starting to close that gap on the back of him, really starting to use that draft assistance. Within a second, these cars really can suck up to the back of you very, very quickly. So Mazzomo is going to want to keep.
Hasler, Roch, Nixon, Maguire, Mazzomo, that's your top 5 in your GTP. Faulkner, Hughes, Dodge, Leachy, and Green, that's your top 5 in your GTs. The GTP was the first one, GT3 was the second one, and 2.9 seconds the lead for our lead GT3 driver, already coming up to some lap traffic here for these lead guys in the GTP. So we haven't done a lot of laps. I'll get that up on the timing tower just to see how many we've done, Shibby, but I think we've only done 2 or 3 laps and we've already got some lap traffic.
Mate. Yeah, only 4 laps in, so these GTPs are quick, mate. They're knocking like over 10 seconds a lap faster than the GT3s in most cases. So it's only going to take a couple of laps to get around and get back to them, especially if there was a couple of hold-ups during the GT3s. Looks like Doddsy now starting to pull on the back of Simpson. No, that's a different class.
Dodds in the GT3 here at 2.5 seconds. So the top 3 in GT3, they're starting to spread out. The closest gap's probably it was back the other way with Ryan Green. 7 seconds is the gap between him. So I'm really surprised how quick both of these classes have spread out here at Monza. I really would have thought that these guys would be like this. These guys here are probably in a winner. Ganotis and Imco here, teammates, working together nicely, and that's what you want to see. You don't want to be left high and dry, and we've seen that at Le Mans. A couple of drivers got left behind, but maybe that's the case here. But remember, strategies in play, and we've stayed green now for 5 laps, so plenty of time for the field to be locked back in. Braden O'Loughlin, he actually remembered to sign in, so the head Frog League guys in. Nice looking car too with the Fez.
That it is, mate. I am back with you on board now. I just had to say good night to my little one who is off to bed.
Come back to a cracking battle. We've got the front few now starting to make their way through lap traffic and start to battle each other now with he's checked out. Brendan Groch and Connor Nixon. Nope, so it's Connor Nixon leading this trail here, and Troy Maguire. There we go, and Edwards and Mazzomo in a battle. Coming down to turn 1, and the smart drivers, they merged like a zipper. And they got through there. 8 minutes into 45.
They're looking good out there with this battle pack of 4. A little bit look back, Ashley, is that Jordan Ferguson trying to catch the back of these guys as well. So if they keep battling the way they are, Ferguson's only just sitting back. Like, he can see them getting through the corners, and the more these guys at the front keep battling, it only gives Jordan Moore a chance to really start catching up.
Yeah, he'll be warranting. He'll be watching these guys battle, but also the time lost in without having the draft. I'm not too sure if that's one of the Gators. Michelson's having a crack, gets around some lap traffic. And good to see again that the GTPs aren't being bullies, as we're pretty much known to see that now, aren't we, by GTPs and LMP1s and 2s and all that in the officials, but not here.
Yeah, well, back in the GT3s, as we can see on screen right now, Alexander Ganotis and Jamie Christensen are battling it out between themselves. We can see those the GTP cars come screaming past them, while Christensen and Ganotis in the GT3s are having their own battle down in the back of the field. Ben Faulkner, he is a long way up in those GT3s. He is really pushing the limits right now. He is just cruising away from Adam Hughes.
Yeah, we all know how quick Hughes is, isn't he? And I think Ben Faulkner's a new character. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen that name when I've been in commentary anyway. It's 2.7 seconds, and we also know that this man here on screen, Adam Hughes, he's no slouch. So
no, he's a Porsche absolute master of the GT3s. Faulkner, the Vermilion Motorsports team, has slowly been starting to flow into the SRW league. So Faulkner dropped in. I think Vermilion started flowing into the 86 series last season, and once they saw what else we had to offer, a few more of them started flowing through. So essentially, Faulkner is relatively new to SRW.
He's doing a good job.
Ashley DeVeers, Pat Oliver, and Chris Miller Funky now battling it out for P9. I'll tell you what, they're going to battle their way just like it is for P1. Lap traffic again. Those GTP guys have still got to be respectful to those GT3 cars. This is the point of mixed class. Still have to respect positions.
Yeah, 100%. They're showing good sportsmanship. The guys are getting through, and you can see back a shot there that the GT3s are still able to do their thing and battle about. But I tell you, I think that's the traffic is slowing Adam Hughes down a little bit more, because I just got off Faulkner with the traffic he didn't have, and compared to Adam Hughes.
What's happened? Nope, it's just SDK. It's just like, what is going on? It's like, how is Dougie Gowan so far back through the GT3s, but he's not. Veers still battling out with Oliver up the front. We've got Connor and McGuire. So
big happening here, mate. I'm going to jump on a replay. This may not show much, but there's probably about 2, 3 or 4 cars. This could be an area of the track, yes, and it is, where they just go off. I just thought I'd go have a look, because there's probably about 6 or 7 cars. Here it is.
Oh, they've just, side by side, no room to race, and the AVR car gets pushed off into the sand.
Yeah, and I tell you, with the new package on the traction and the dirt and the off tracks and that you can actually use it to your advantage. You've just seen a pretty good demonstration of it there. And Connor Nixon is leading. Who's behind him? Troy McGuire and Jake Edwards. Not too much track between them. 0.1. That's what that looks like here at Monza. 0.1 of a second. Nixon, McGuire, and Edwards is behind as well, with probably the same margin.
Yeah, definitely, mate. We've had a comment from one of our viewers out there, Burb, being the one saying the Vermilion boy is the top tier in most cars, yet nobody drives away from Hughesy for long, though. So, Interesting way to put it there, Burr. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Husey, his game plays that he runs with his pit stop strategies is most of the time how he wins his races. So it's going to be interesting to see. But back in the GT3s, we got Christensen right on top of John O'Kiley right now. Really starting to push that juice driver. The Vermilion driver wanting to... Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong bloody screen. Christensen still on top of Kylie. There is a huge mix-up here in the back of the GT3s. We've got a massive line now. Christensen, Kylie, O'Reilly, Simpson, Hodgkinson, all battling it out in the GT3s.
GTPs, they're making themselves around. They're making themselves around, and the GT3s they don't look like they have to make too much sort of movement on the track. So they've got past, and there's Kylie and Christian. That's the back. That's Cowell on the back of Kylie. So didn't lose too much track position.
They definitely are pushing through. So Hughes is still dropping time off Faulkner. It's going to be interesting to see. I think O'Reilly's just made a move around Benici. Benici is getting... Oh, that's GTP cars. Gee, oh dear, mate. I've really got to get my head in the game with multi-class. Get your head in the game.
Looked like a big accident there anyway, so it looks like we sort of went to the right thing. It all started here with Green, I think.
Yeah, it looks like Green is off and Adam Simpson is off as well. Hopefully they... Oh, a contact with a GT3 and a GTP car. We're going to leave that up to race control, but I'm sure you guys out there are going to have your thoughts on that. We have ours, but that's what our race stewards are for here this evening.
Yeah, a couple of other cars caught up in that. Just got slowed down a little bit, but well, I'm sure hopefully the right room name in there will get the ruling on that. We've got to do this one though. When it comes up, I'll let you call this through. This is coming up an off track.
I think so. That looks like a uneasy driver. That is something definitely I would do. More worried about the faster guys behind him instead of holding his line. And I dare say he's looked up, seen them coming, and sort of just went, "Oh crap! What do I have to do?" And then realised there was a corner in front of him. I had a similar race in the LMDHs and LMP2 class races with Tyson McAvoy where he did the exact same thing, came up behind me in a faster class. I freaked out, should have just held my line, and I ended up pinning it off the track. So I think it was just one of those uneasy moments where Steve was a little worried. But we jump back up the battle ahead now with Maguire and Edwards. Maguire really starting to push the time on the back of Edwards. Oh, look how close he is, mate. It's not going to be long until he tries to make a move. And we've got that BMW driver right in front of him. He did yield, he did brake and slow down. Don't have to slow down or brake, but he has just to make it easier for the GTPs to get through.
Yeah, there these guys have just what is it, 0.3 of a second. Troy Maguire leads. Who's trailing Jake Edwards. And Connor Nixon is a little bit further back in this as well, but don't discount Connor. We've seen how he drove last week, but the pressure that Troy Maguire is putting on Jake, I wonder if Jake can withstand this pressure, because this is what your mirror looks like when you've got Maguire behind you.
Yeah, that is close. He is definitely starting to rub some paint off there. Really starting to push the back of that car, getting all the stream he can. Got a beautiful slingshot there. Makes that move look easy, tucks it in nice and tight, and away he goes.
He gets that position done quite easily in the end. It was all to do with that draft. Connor Nixon looks like he's bridging the gap there a little bit as well, Connor. So there's a battle. Keegan Caldwell's coming through a crash as well.
Yeah, looks like
back and have a look at that, but
Doug Gowans has just called something in to race stewards as well. So something's definitely happened back in the back of the pack there. Faulkner though, absolutely slaying the GT3s. Got to say, while we've got a bit of time, while we look at this replay to see what's happened, Adam Hughes has closed that gap to 1 second. So maybe Faulkner's... Oh, Caldwell's just spun it on his own. He's held his brakes. Oh, that was close.
just staying on board with that because I think there's more to it.
Little risque there, pulling back out. Nobody knows where you're going to go.
Just over to Dougie.
Gowans. I think that might have been all she wrote, Mo. Yeah, and I'd say Dougie Gowans was just calling that back in and moving on re-entry. So you do have a rule book for a reason, and moving after a spin can be absolute detrimental and take out multiple drivers because nobody knows where you're going to turn. As pit stop starts rolling in, is that what I'm seeing there?
Yeah, we've got Ferguson, DeVries down the lane. So first people to blink, lap 13. Apart from those guys that pitted really early, whether that was for damage or just a strategy call. McCartan's on the radio here, so get nervous when you see race control on the radio and pit stops being had. Scott Hasler though is making his way around traffic. He's using them nicely as well. He's got a 2.8 second lead over Grotch. Now with the 0.2 second of a gap in qualifying, I think Grotch got it down to. Actually, Delaney, wasn't it?
Well, Spade. I just want to bring your attention to bloody Hughesy again. Burb said it earlier, no one drives away from Hughesy for long. He has closed that gap to a second. So I wonder if Ben's pushed it too hard, burnt his tyres out really fast, and because Hughesy's just been sitting back, racing in clean air, look at him, he's nearly on the back of Faulkner now.
Porsche specialist, you did say, and another thing that you did say was he knows how to race the race. He reads a race really well. So was he pushing it 10/10, for the first 14 laps, or was he just saving tyres, saving energy, saving all his resources to have a fight back at him? I'm pretty sure Adam Hughes would have heard the name Faulkner around the Spy racing. They're both super quick, so probably would have known what he had coming for him, and more GTP cars are coming from him now.
I definitely think with the wide range of drivers and teams we've got flowing into SRW, that a lot of these guys are going to know each other from either officials or other leagues that they've ran in the past. So I think a lot of these drivers are going to be well aware of who the quick guys are and what their target is. So if I was sitting in the back of the pack, I'd sort of be trying to pick someone in front of me that's a bit quicker and just try and pinpoint them. Christensen now and Benici, again, the two guys in the Ferraris. These guys haven't been able to be separated through this race tonight. Christian's starting to hopefully look at pushing that gap on Benici. Christensen's down 3 spots from qualifying, so he's definitely wanting to try and get this move done. Next, we're just on the verge of halfway here. 22 and a half minutes left to go. Still anybody's game.
Nice, it's on the radio now, so plenty happening at around about that halfway point in this race, and this is the battle that never ends. Jamie Christensen, he had a good battle last week, and he's continuing his battling form. Harry Dodds is still pushing on as well. He's up 3 from where he started. He's sitting in 3rd, but it's all about these guys in the GT3, and Adam Hughes and Ben Faulkner. Adam Hughes 1.5 seconds the gap now as we duck back up the front. Jake Edwards and Troy Maguire leads that class. Scott Hasler, I do believe, went down the lane.
couple of guys starting to pull in very, very quickly.
Hasler, Delaney, Grotch, Ferguson all down the lane in GTP. They're sitting 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. And no one in the top 10 in the GT3 are yet to pit. Guaymazono, Michelson, Edwards down the lane now, Funky, Gerard, that'll be your 5. A few of these starters back again, they're coming and going, but as long as it looks good for all the people, Shibby.
Yeah, the starters are showering up, mate. It's something we'll take a brief moment afterwards to see if we can diagnose the issue. I've got a couple of ideas, but it's not too bad, mate. We will get through it and we will see it to the end of this race. For some reason, there is a horrendous crash and they need 5 laps of safety car.
Talk about crash. Shotter, there's a crash coming in.
I reckon they're just pushing the limits of the track, mate. He's coming down to the chicane. Yeah, he's just missed his braking marker and gone, it's easier to go straight, so I will do that.
Yep, slalom, probably a 5-second slow down. It's probably something ridiculous down there in turn 1, but it is easier just to slalom around them tyre barriers.
It's not faster though. Definitely not faster.
Not in the long run. 0.7 of a second there's a gap between Christensen in that battle. Hodgkinson's in another battle. 0.4. So a battle that will be progression. He's got, that's Keeley in front of him. I think I was pronouncing it Kylie earlier. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. There's a whole heap of GTP cars come around the corner. They're almost like they were getting towed around like they were water skiing there.
Imagine the draft they'd get off the GTPs as they came flying through down the straight, mate. You'd want to just duck in and see any sort of second that you can get out of it, as we see GT3 cars after GT3 car and then some GTP starting to pull into the lane as well. We've got a lot of GT3 cars in, but Hughes is on the way out for the GT3s and he is in front of Ben Faulkner. I said this earlier in the night that we've seen Hughesy win these class races in the GT3s just on pit lane strategies himself. He went easier on his car than Faulkner was for the first half of the race, and that has played off for him. Now all he's got to do is keep Faulkner at bay for the next 15 minutes.
Got a few GTP cars that just passed him there as well, although Hughesy will have the same issue in just a second and then they will group back up again. But all in all, after that stop, Hughesy got the position done and he's crept that out to around about a 2-second lead already. Yeah, that just goes on what you're saying with pit strategy for Hughesy, and no one drives away from Hughesy for too long. And that's just, he's just questioned it. Does he have the pace for Faulkner though? Was that all strategy calls? Is that why you're sitting behind? There's plenty of questions. Will Adam Hughes come back? But still around about 12 minutes to go.
Yeah, we're just going to watch Hughesy now. He's got a lot less time left than what he did in the first half. So I'm going to watch. I think we keep an eye on Hughesy and watch him gap this out. I don't think he's going to play around for this second half of the race, mate, at all. He will be wanting to gap it and get out and get moving, as we see Christensen closing the gap on Dodd. So great battle here for them as well. Yeah, you can see Hughesy already starting to use his advantage. He's even keeping a GTP at bay at this point. He is starting to push.
I'll tell you who started the push. I'm going to jump off this just for 1 second, because the GTP cars, this is why we have a safety car. I just seen they've all come together. They're really close together, and well, there we go. we've got a race control broadcast chat for a reason, but I didn't see it. But we're on the safety car first time. We'll try and dig up what
Okay.
happened.
Lap 16. Lap 16, the GTP car has slowed right down to the point of stopping and has stopped in the middle of the track, if you can find that, mate. Keegan Caldwell, not an incident, but something has happened, maybe a mechanical failure. Yeah, so you can see here, he's just struggling with the car. It just doesn't want to seem to move. Not got any power.
Let's go back a bit. I'll see if I can ride on board with him. Oh, he gets a little bit of a touch there. See if we can hear anything.
Oh, he does. He does. He gets a big old thump there.
Let's grab another go with it.
He can jump on board with who was behind him.
Too sure.
I'll find out. Beauty of having two producers.
His engine's running, but he's obviously got no go. Thought he got a copy here, but... Right, we'll go back live. Bit of a weird one.
Yeah, he did cop a big thump though from behind. These cars essentially could be fairly fragile. He could have done some heavy damage to the rear of that car and just made the drivetrain just not happy. Like you see, he's up on the stands there, so hopefully it wasn't too much damage. He's able to get back out and continue racing. So VM Joshua, so I'm wondering if that's Vermilion Joshua, saying Bendy, the extra fuel taking silly goose. Who was Bendy?
Not too sure.
Is that Brandon Gooch, maybe?
Maybe.
It's a Frog Leap driver, so, mate, who's Bendy? Oh, I will start using that nickname from now on because I love it. And the extra fuel taking silly goose, so.
McGuire went down the lane, lap 17. Hasler went early, so did Grotch. Edwards out on his own in 15, so we've got round about half the field going on 13, half the field, GTP field going on 17. And it looks to be most of the GT3s all down the lane at lap 14. So a few GTP drivers off strategy, then you would consider, the rest of the drivers would consider norm, I guess, but the GT3s, it's all looking to be at on the same sorts of strategy.
Well, mate, we by the time this safety car gets back around, looks like we're going to do another lap. That's going to lead this into a 10-minute sprint to the finish line for both the GTPs and GT3s. So again, I go back to what I originally said. You can be fast in qualifying, but when it comes to the race, it is still anybody's game. And now with the whole field backed up, mate, it is going to be extremely interesting to see what happens. Most of these guys are on fresh tyres and a quick splash and dash of fuel to finish the race. So it is going to be a cracker finish. And I'm looking forwards. I want to keep our eye on those GT3s as much as those GTPs because Mr. Hughes and Ben Faulkner. So it turns out Bendy is Ben Faulkner. That does make sense, Mr. Bendy Faulkner. Thanks out there, chat, for filling us in with a great nickname. And I'm assuming it just came because of Ben Bendy, or is there a funny story behind the nicknames? We always love the extra dirt on your team drivers. It means we can talk more about them, get to know our drivers in this league while we broadcast here live for your viewing pleasure. I tell you what, looks like more people like to drive the GT3s. We've got 14 votes. GT3s are winning 57% to 43%. 14 votes, only 8 likes on the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. The maths is wrong there if you have not taken the time to hit that like button yet. please do so now while we have the time with a safety car. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because at 1,000 subscribers, we will be giving away that fantastic Racecraft Simulations rig and seat, thanks to the John and the team at Racecraft Simulations. Also, massive shout out to Warren and Brown Tools, our naming's right sponsor for our IMSA Shadow series. Couldn't do it without them. So if you want some fantastic tools that are Australian, family owned and run for well over 40 years, go and check them out. Their links are all down in the description. Right, we are getting towards the end of this lap, and I believe we're probably going to see that safety car move off into the pits very soon. Where are we on the track, Matt? We're coming down through the last chicane. Yeah, down through the last chicane now. One quick straight into the final right-hander. I do believe that Tyson will be pulling in very soon. I miss this promo department car. I don't know why we stopped using it. Mind you, the BMW does look sexy, but I don't know. The Lotus Elise is just it's a sweet car.
We've got 11 minutes to go. The field is spread.
Away. Tyson
Everyone's
has
good
pulled.
to go home. Oh, what's happened there in the backfield?
There has been a big incident during safety car. There is two GTP cars off in the background. Lots of damage. I don't know if they will extend it with less than 10 minutes to go.
McAvoy's on the radio. We'll stay up the front though. I've got it there marked, ready to go when we can get a replay at it. Troy Maguire's gone though. We're green racing again, Shibby. That's just answered it. So all the gap is gone for Troy Maguire. Adam Hughes in the other class as well. So let's see what we can do down here at turn 1. And there's not much gap in between these two classes this time round.
No, definitely not, mate. As long as they flow through, keep it clean. They're only too wide through there now, but Maguire is really being hassled by Hassler. Back in the GT3s, Adam Hughes is moving forwards. Ben Faulkner's on the back of him, with Harry Dodds up into P3 as well. Christensen has just dropped a second off the back of our top 3 in the GT3s, but Hassler and Grosh are really starting to push now. Edwards has got himself into the battle. This is going to be on for young and old as we head on through into the final 8 minutes here tonight.
I was just checking in on those GT3s, but we'll get a couple of good speed shots as we come through here. But 36 minutes, we're into the final last 2 laps. Jake Edwards takes the lead off Hassler just momentarily. So Edwards, he got a big gain through there as well as the 2 Froggy cars are left behind. But Edwards, once he put in that tank in this last sector, he was just absolutely blown away. Brendan Grosh in the Zoma.
Yeah, mate, he's definitely starting to push, but Faulkner has had the advantage back in the GT3s of getting back on the back of Hughes after that safety car, and he's really starting to push Hughes now. Christensen also on the back of Dodds. They're actually side by side now, coming down into the chicane. This is going to be wild. We are going to have battles non-stop to the end. It is going to come down to the wire. Dodds pulls in front of Christian, gets that move done, but Christian's going to stay there. Christian's going to follow him down over the start-finish line. How close is this going to be down into turn 1? We were about to find out as they are still side by side. Christensen makes the move down onto the inside. Oh, that's Dodds, sorry. Dodds moves onto the inside. Christensen now. Jeez, they are close.
Faulkner though back in the lead of the GT3s. He's got the move done on Adam Hughes. There was a few incidents that happened just before, but this battle's not over yet. Shibby, Faulkner and Hughes, 0.5 of a second gap. The mid-pack in the GT3's heating up. We've got a very slow, is that Connor Nixon up ahead? No, it's not.
Connor Nixon or Keegan Caldwell. I think it might be Keegan there. did look like the similar. Oh, there's been a few incidents happen.
Detroit wide, Dave Gowans.
Yeah, a couple of incidents have happened. Hodgkinson, though, in the back of Benici, the GT3s. Hodgkinson's got the move done on Benici. Hodgkinson's now in the back of Barber. Faulkner's 0.6 of a second off Simpson. But Christensen now... Oh, no, what have we missed? Faulkner's got around Hughes. Faulkner has got around Hughes. Faulkner's got around and he's starting to push that gap. Hughesy's got to try and close that gap because Christensen's now in the back of Hughes. This is interesting. Ryan Green as well, right on the back of John O'Kiley. AVR first, complete juiced racing. Hughes still caught the gap now, side by side with Faulkner. Where are they going to go as it comes down into this corner? They are still side by side, no room to spare. Great skill shown from both drivers. Hughes, he gets it tucked in. Really nice work there. Oh, the GTP car's now coming through as Christensen. The two Vermilions are chasing down the crisscross Whitey Pies driver. This is on. 5 minutes left to go here.
Yeah, we've had a few big names taken out of the race in the GTPs as we've been focusing on this. I think I did catch a little bit of a replay, but McGuire, he had an incident. De Vries, Gowans, Michael Whiting also has been taken further down the track as well. So just checking, these guys are separated a little bit, but the order: Edwards, Grosh, Hasler, and Mazzomo. That's the closest two in the GTP.
On top of each other. Edwards is gapped out. He's got a great run off that safety car, taking advantage of it, shot the gap to 1.4 back to Grosh, and then there's a 2-second gap back to Hasler. So at the moment it's looking like the GTP podium is set in stone as the GT3s. Faulkner, Hughes again, and Christensen, the two Vermilions. This is the battle that we're going to be watching down to the wire. Those Vermilion boys really need to be working together here. I guarantee Hughesy, I'm not saying anything against the Vermilion boys, I know they're great drivers, but man, Hughesy is going to be blocking and defending both of them. It's going to be hard. Only one movement down into the braking lines. So he's got to be careful where he puts that car. And look at the pace he's carrying through there.
Added element with one of them team cars just blinking there, I've seen. So Adam Hughes legged it though. So these two boys here in behind, I don't know if they've got something for him. He's got 3 minutes. That's probably this lap and one more. But it looks pretty good for Hughesy. Troy Maguire down 9 positions of GTP. His day's pretty much done. But this is the battle that we've been concentrating on for most of it. Shibby, the GT3s, they've been turning it on. Even further back in the field here with Hodgkinson, Benici and Green.
That's my voice, I'm getting a bit sore. Needed a breather. All right, GTPs, we need to quickly jump back up the front. De Vries, Funky and Ferguson. We've got a battle here for P7. Jordan Ferguson trying to make a move around Miller. Funky just couldn't get it done through before the chicane. He's going to stay hot on his tail though, and I believe that is his teammate of Ashley De Vries just in front of him. Hughesy is still just holding these boys off. We are within the final 2 minutes here tonight of our Warren and Brown and Tools IMSA Shadow Series. Again, I'd like to thank you all for joining Pete and I this evening. As golly gosh, the GT3s really started turning this on in the final laps. Drake Edwards still just gapped it from Grosh. Grosh is still gapped from Hasler. There's really not much happening up the front with the GTPs. Phenomenal drive from all of them. But Hughesy, we heard it here earlier tonight from Burb out in the chat that nobody drives away from Hughesy long. We've seen what this man can do. Just look at Christensen trying to find any ounce of space to make a move on this track, but Hughesy just knows how to place that car. He's going to hold center track. What a great idea. Doesn't hold left or right, will hold center track. He's going to wait for them to make the move before he decides. He's not going to defend an angle. He wants to see which way they're going to go before he makes his move.
Let's see what he can do down here at turn 1, 2 sort of section of the track. Is he going to wait for this lap? There's a bit of defensive. Hughesy goes defensive down the inside, but if you hang it around, he's got it the inside for down here, side by side, plenty of room given, and he's in the middle.
Solid move there from Christensen. Great racing from both Hughes and Christensen. Not much space to be left for either of them, but man, did they make that work there. That is professional driving from both these drivers.
It's not over yet as Hughes comes down again, down the inside for the lunge. This is the thing with draft. Oh, he's got a little bit of contact. Oh, we'll leave that for race control. Hughesy.
Hughes called it in. Has been called in. This is the final lap. That is not the way we wanted to see this end.
Let's go back up the front. These guys are almost finished. Halfway through. Sorry, mate.
This is not the way we wanted to see this race end. But when they are racing that close, any sort of slight bump could cause an off-track. Mazzomo's gone off at the last minute. He was up into P4. He's dropped through the field. He's dropped 2 positions now. Delaney on the back of Oliver. This is, oh, careful boys through there with the other GT3 car.
And this is what I said at the top of the broadcast, Shibby, that they seem to find each other right at the dying stage of the races. It makes it interesting. The leaders of GT3, they didn't have that drama. They tangled amongst each other. Now these GTP guys, these leaders, they've got to, or the lead bunch, they've got to try and get their way around through. But they're doing all right. But Delaney is losing a bit of time, or lost a little bit of time on Oliver getting past them 3 GT3 cars. They push on, it's checkered flags. Did they get over the line before the checkered flag was out? No.
So Jake Edwards for Crisscross Racing will take out your P1 for the GTP class. Brandon Grosh for Frog Leap Juice Racing will take out P2. And Scott Hassler for Frog Leap Juice Racing will take out P3. Now, I don't want to call the GT3 finishes. So it looks like Christensen may have actually redressed Hughesy there. So what I've got on my end is Faulkner did take the win. Hughes is into second and Christensen into third. So the tanglement was with Hughes and Christensen, and it does look like there may have been a redress made. That has allowed Hughesy to take his P2 on the podium here this evening.
Yeah, I think that was when they were racing back there. I thought I had the redress happen, but yeah, definitely that's what you could pretty much say that's what's happened, mate, 100%. Looks like these guys are still racing. I'm not too sure if they're racing to the line.
Racing to the podium finish, mate. I reckon even though there was a little bit of contact, it was essentially, we could call that a race incident just because of how close they were, right? So these lads have just had up the battle. I bet you the smiles are huge, and they thoroughly enjoyed all of that. Look at all the lights flashing, mate. They just had a cracker last 10 minutes of that race.
Jake Edwards for the GTP, he's shown pace in this series, and he's been up thereabouts for the last few rounds, and he's bagged one, so we'll get a chat with him. But Edwards,
great finish for the Crisscross Racing Jennifer Russell Mobile. Number 97. Solid race. Edwards just in a class of his own tonight. Great drive though from the Frog Leap Juiced Racing cars. They should be super stoked to be up there. They put on one heck of a fight tonight, but after that last safety car, Jake was just in another world and just absolutely pushed it and drove away from both of them. But, mate, I am still frothing over the battles of those GT3s. Lord, oh, Lord, when you have solid GT3 drivers out here on track, man, do they know how to put on a show.
Yeah, the GT3s, it's been the battles that I've been impressed with, really, the battles of the classes. You've got to put down to the GT3s, more so probably the mid-pack early on and down to the battles that we just seen. Go down to the wide tonight. Unfortunate to see your car around, but that's what it means to these guys. And when you do, when you're at that last lap, you're going to make them moves. And if something happens, it definitely wasn't malicious or on purpose. But these guys here, they still would be thoroughly grinning ear to ear with their positions. And also the fun they would have had. Can you imagine? We had fun calling it. Can you imagine them guys actually driving it?
Mate, I had so much fun, I'm starting to lose my voice. That's how much fun I had. It was awesome, mate. I'm thoroughly enjoying, I suppose, getting out of my comfort zone of the V8 supercars and the 86s. Like, I've done the V8 supercars now for 2 years. Don't get me wrong, they put on some amazing racing, but just getting out of my comfort zone and getting to do some multi-class and watch these different class of drivers out here in totally different cars, mate. Thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah, they're good to watch. It was
awesome not to push buttons tonight.
I would have said the same. It was awesome to push buttons, but had the added stress of looking at a few other numbers that I don't like to look at, but that's okay. We got there anyway. I'll have to have a look at that. But anyway, Jake Edwards, Grosh and Hasler, have a look at them lined up there in the GTPs, and Faulkner, Hughes and Christensen. But that battle towards the end is probably got to go down to one of the battles of the season so far, that's for sure. But we'll get them results up and we'll run through. While we wait for these guys to get into the green room, shall we, Shibby? The GT3 results. This is how they finished for round 6 of the Warren and Brown. Warren and Brown Tools into Shadow Series. Faulkner, Hughes, Christensen. There we'll be talking to them shortly. But Harry Dodds and John Keeley, two Frog League Juice Racing guys in 4th and 5th, and then the Crisscross guys come through 6th and 7th, and a couple more Froggies there in 8th and 9th. And we're starting to see a pattern, aren't we, Shibby, with the same old names there and thereabouts, with a couple of little mishaps pushing a few guys down, but we're starting to get accustomed to this top 10.
Yeah, definitely, mate. As I said, the more of these teams that started flowing through, especially into an IMSA series, teamwork really does help you get through the field and stay racing fast. You can just see it there on the finishing. Vermilion boys up near each other. The Frog Leap lads, Crisscross, Frog Leap, Corsa, Rosso, like they're all together finishing where they should be because they raced together. The GTP's up on screen, and now absolute great drive for Jake Edwards for Crisscross Racing. Brandon Grosh, Scott Hassler for the Frog Leap Juice Racing guys. Solid drive. Pat Oliver, Blake Delaney, first of the Fishy Boys here tonight. In fifth, Simon Mazzomo for the 9.5 Sim Sports team in the 9.54 car. Jordan Ferguson for Velocity Racing Team, a new team that have joined us here in SRW. Not to get confused with the Velocity Sim Lab. Ashley DeVeers, Chris Miller Funky in ninth. Matty Gerard down in 10th there for the Velocity Sim Labs, followed by Jack Mitchelton for Velocity Racing Team. Keegan Caldwell, Adam Simpson, Troy Maguire, Michael Whiting, Doug Gowans, Connor Nixon, Jacob O'Reilly, and Stephen McCartan was actually our race control tonight. Simon Mazzomo's dropped into the chat, and I think he might have called himself out there. Talent failure confirmed on the last lap. I did see you fall through the field, mate. You were up in fourth. I called it as it happened. We were watching the GT3s at the time, mate, but we did see you fall through that timing tower. Mate, don't be too upset. You are finished in the top 10. Still great points to grab up in that top 10. So well done tonight, mate. And we definitely look forward to seeing you out here, mate. And you got to start dragging some more of those 9.5 boys back over to the league, buddy. There's a lot of other races going on, but we need more of those 9.5 Sims boys to get their butts back over here.
Yeah, good
there
bunch of blokes
is
as well, mate. Good bunch of blokes as well. I'll leave the dragon and pull into you, but yeah, I think we should get these podium interviews underway, because I know Shibby likes they're doing burnouts first, but no, Shibby likes a quick podium.
Yeah, I don't want to play around too much, mate. I want to get talking to our drivers, hear what they think about the race, and give them their opportunity to shout out their sponsors. And we see some awesome burnouts there from Adam Hughes. No, it's not Hughes. It's the Vermilion driver, Ben Faulkner. Absolutely ripping it. He should be super stoked. All right, mate, you ready to get your interview scene going or whatever you're doing? Because we are going to we're going to start with our GT3s. And we're going to start with Mr. Jamie Christensen of Vermilion Motorsports. Did you burp as we just dragged you in?
No, I was having a chat to Adam about the netcode incident at the chicane, but...
Yeah, mate. Oh, gosh, that was... some phenomenal racing. You, Ben, and Adam just absolutely sticking it to each other throughout the last 10 minutes, mate. And we did catch that live. Was there a redress in there, mate, for you to Hughesy?
Yeah, and I kind of stuffed it up. I maybe could have done something if I redressed it, properly, but I accidentally gave him too much time in front of me.
Mate, I tell you what, you can't be too disappointed, because I think that all three of you would have had a fantastic, big smile on your face after that race.
Yeah, it was fun trying to get back up there, but I think the safety car saved me.
I think the safety car saved Ben as well, mate, because at one point, Hughesy had pushed the gap out to 1.5 seconds. So that safety car really brought both of you guys right back on top of Hughesy. And I guarantee he was feeling the pressure of both the Vermilion drivers on the back of him as well.
He might have been. I don't know.
He might have been. Well, we're going to find out soon, mate. Solid race here tonight, Jamie. You're really starting to bring a name for yourself, and of course Vermilion Motorsport here over in the SRW League, in the 86s as well now in our IMSA Shadow Series in the GT3s, mate. Huge congratulations on your podium finish here tonight, and absolute amazing race and battles across the field tonight, mate. It is all yours to shout out your sponsors.
Shout out to Burning Motor Group, Dr. Epoxy, Race Lab Overlays, RSW Graphics, Supernova Motorsports, Moza Racing, and Himo Setups.
Nice, mate. Well, congratulations again, buddy, and we will see you back out here for the 86s next week, correct?
Yeah.
Well, you've got a championship to keep battling for, buddy.
I'm still in it somehow after last round.
Yeah, 27 points within it, mate. So the 86 championship points is going to come down to the line, and I can't wait to see how you guys all take the rest of the season. So good luck, mate, and we'll probably talk to you again on Thursday.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, mate. Positive attitudes, all right?
Don't give me
Positive
commentator's
attitudes.
curse.
Yeah, no, I just won't put the camera on you on Thursday, yeah?
That could work.
It could work.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Well, great race tonight. And, yeah, go and celebrate with your team because you guys definitely deserve it.
All right. See you, boys.
See you, mate. All right, moving on to P2 tonight. Doesn't need much introduction. We all know him as Hughesy. He is a GT3 Porsche Masterclass driver, and we definitely saw that here tonight. Hughesy, you do join us in the comms box, mate.
G'day.
G'day, mate. Geez, it's been a while since I heard your beautiful voice.
It has been a hot moment, or hot minute rather. It has.
It has, mate. It doesn't look like you've slowed down in those Porsche cars.
I still feel slow, mate. Some of the aliens I come across in officials, I still feel slow.
Still feel slow. Well, mate, you got to start dragging those so-called aliens over into the Shadow Series next season, or the GT3, or whatever we decide to run, mate, and put them out for show, mate, because you drove phenomenally well here tonight. The first half of the race, we did see Grosh really start pushing away, and at one point was close to 4 seconds gap on you. Were you just sort of sitting back knowing that it was a relatively long race and conserving a bit of fuel and tyre, because right before that halfway mark, you closed that gap back to a second or just under a second?
No, the start I completely butchered because I just had a half-brain moment thinking I was an official, and I forgot what running by SRW rules, so that completely shafted me. And obviously, Ben went with Jamie and obviously got that head start, and he and I didn't get penalised. I thought we both would have got done for it, but we didn't. So that just made it even harder, and then just had to drive and just try and get back up to him. Porker is just substantially nerfed compared to the Ferrari here. Yeah, no fuel saving, no tyre saver, unfortunately. Couldn't do it this week, so no, it's just balls to the wall for most of it, I think.
You just said that the Porsche is nerfed compared to the Ferrari.
Sorry. Other way around, sorry, no.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Ferrari is nerfed, sorry. Yeah, sorry, my apologies. The Ferrari is nerfed.
Yeah,
I believe it is anyway.
I was going to say, if you're saying the Porsche is nerfed, it definitely didn't look like it tonight. Last question, mate. How big was your smile, or how tense was your forehead with the two Vermilion drivers breathing down your neck for those final 10 minutes of that race?
No, it was good. No, I thought they were going to get past me. I was just going to show them a fence. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, it was good. No, it was good fun. Just the safety car sort of scrambled it up. It was really good. It was just myself and Ben, obviously, and Jamie was catching up, but I think he would have ran out of time. But yeah, the safety car brought him back in as well as everyone else. So, no, it was definitely nerve-wracking for the better part. But I was just happy with either P2 or P3, to be honest. Like I said to Pete and... I can't think who the other commentator was, that I'm out of the hunt for the championship due to the 2 weeks away with work and stuff. So I'm just happy to consolidate for Greg and for the team at this point. But yeah, no, good race. It was bloody awesome. It's good to have a battle with someone else other than my teammate, because you got to show respect, whereas you can be a little bit more rough and a bit more disrespectful with other competitors that aren't in your team.
Well, I tell you what, mate, you've definitely done the Crisscross team and Shunt Scenery group and Palmerston Bakery, a huge, they should be very proud of your driving tonight, mate. I called it from the start that we're going to see some big moves from you here tonight, as I've followed your racing in the GT3 since I've worked with SRW, mate. And I tell you what, you put on a show, mate. You've done your team and yourself proud, so congratulations, mate. And shout out the rest of the sponsors, or shout them all out all over again.
So Shunt Scenery, Palmerston Bakery, obviously DSM Painting Contractors, Jennifer Russell Real Estate, Doom Designs, Bull Master Bayside for the last one, and obviously thanks to you two gentlemen for doing the broadcast yet again, as well as everyone in SRW and all the competitors for GDP and GD3 for showing up again and making Monza a good race. That was good. And obviously, both Race Control as well for their input and help tonight. I know they were pretty jam-packed with all the bits and pieces that were going on, so yeah, cheers to them.
Yeah, mate. Well, we do it for you drivers, and you know, when we hear the feedback and how much you guys are enjoying it, and also the input the drivers give to us to help make this a better place for everybody to come and race, mate. It definitely gives us that feeling of gratitude, and thanks to all you guys for actually being in this league and giving us a league to run and a broadcast to put on, mate. So huge kudos to all the drivers as well, mate. Go and celebrate with your team. We need to get through these interviews, mate. And so you're going to miss the next 2 weeks?
No, I'll be here. No, I'll be
You
here
here?
for
Okay.
the rest of the season, I believe. So, no, should be locked and loaded.
Fantastic,
And
mate.
shout out to Whitey Pies boys and to the rest of the CXR and to Brad Newman. Big fan.
Yeah, too easy, mate. Well, we'll see you back out here on track next Friday night, mate.
Cheers, fellas. Appreciate it.
Have a good one, Hughesy.
Cheers.
All right, that was P2, Adam Hughes from Crisscross Racing. Now we will move on to Ben Faulkner from Vermilion Motorsports. I dribbled on my mic as I said your name, Ben. That's got to make you feel good about yourself, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Mate, solid drive for the Vermilion boys tonight. You in the first half of the race, it looked like you were starting to gap Hughesy out, mate. You'd pushed it out to about 3.5, nearly 4 seconds through that first half of the race. Did you damage any of your tyres or anything? Because at one point he'd closed that gap again quite fast.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really quick driver, and I got a bit unlucky with some of the traffic and some of the rejoins from the pit lane, which didn't help. But yeah, it's been a while since I've driven GT3, so I was kind of just trying to keep it on track and keep it going. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. He's really quick, so I was glad to end up the top step in front of him.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, mate, that safety car brought both you and Jamie right back into that battle. Did you feel like the second half of the race after those pit stops that Hughesy was just sort of driving away from you guys?
Well, there was a lot of LMDHs coming through, so I thought I might get a little bit of luck on my side. I think just before the safety car, I caught like a couple of tenths, but I don't know how it would have gone after that. But yeah, me and Jamie both put in 3 laps more fuel than we were supposed to, which didn't help. But yeah, although fuel messes up sometimes.
Yeah, that's not going to help too much, mate. But I tell you what, damn did you boys put on a display of racing, mate. That was just beautiful racing from all 3 of you. I've asked the other 2 this. Did you just have a massive smile on your face at the end of that race?
Yeah, me and Jamie were just having a laugh in the thing in the VC, and we're good mates with Hughesy, so we knew that he'd be having a laugh afterwards with us too. So, but yeah, we had good fun.
Yeah, mate, you put on one heck of a show. We had a couple of guys drop into the chat. So VM Joshua, and it turns out you've got the nickname Bendy.
Yeah, well, my middle name's David, so my nickname is Ben and then space D and then Faulkner, and then the boys just call me Bendy.
Bendy.
So,
yeah, nice. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, I like it, and I'll be referring to you as Bendy Faulkner from now on, mate. I love getting the dirt from your teammates out there. It means we get to learn more about our drivers that are out here on track, mate. Congratulations tonight. What an epic finish to Monza. First place in GT3s, mate. Let us know who all your sponsors are and the people are who keep you out here on track.
Well, I'm sure Jamie did a great job. I didn't see it, but we've got Berlin Motor Group, is an amazing dealership down on the Gold Coast. Dr. Epoxy, a good mate with us. He's a epoxy place down on the Gold Coast also. Race Lab Overlays. Most people know who they are, just an overlay system for iRacing. I work with them, so they're awesome lads and they do an amazing job. RSW Graphics, they do our liveries, they do an amazing job. Ross has been such an incredible person to work with this year. Supernova Motorsports, they've helped us incredibly. Monza Racing, one of our new sponsors. A lot of people know about them, they're up and coming and just have quality work. and Jaime Setups, actually our brand new partner that we partnered with today. They've got incredible setups, incredible team, Team Redline drivers, Williams drivers, so they're a setup shop to look out for. But yeah, that's all of them.
Awesome, mate. Well, if any of you guys out there heard anything there that spikes your interest, get out there, go help support not just our league, but go support the teams in our leagues as well. Go check out some of their sponsors, and there might be something that they can help you with. So congratulations tonight, Bendy Faulkner, mate. Great drive, and I tell you what, I definitely look forward to being on board with some more of this multi-class racing.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Have a good night, mate.
You too.
All right, moving on to our GTP class. Our third in class tonight is Mr. Scott Hassler for Frog Leap Juice Racing. How you doing, Scott?
Yeah, good. How are you, fellas?
Yeah, good, mate. Geez, that was a cracking race. Give us a quick rundown how you feel you performed and how the race went tonight.
Yeah, it was kind of a tale of two halves. The first half of the race, I was really happy. Kind of just cruising for a bit and managing the tyres. And then, yeah, got the safety car, and that threw a bit of a spanner in the works. So, yeah, a few of the guys stopped a bit later, got to put less fuel in because they pitted during the safety car. And, yeah, then had a little bit of an incident down at the second chicane on that first green flag. And, yeah, just got to slow down that I couldn't quite clear and lost the lead with that. But, yeah, it wasn't too bad. Happy to be on the podium again. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, mate. Two frog leaps up on the podium, mate. So it was a phenomenal drive. How did you guys go with battling through the field of GT3s? Because they definitely seemed to stay a bit more bunched up than you GTP guys. So when you came through, there was not just one. There was multiples of the GT3s that you guys had to take care of as you move through them.
Yeah, for sure. It was the first pass was actually not too bad, which was actually when they were more bunched up. I think I just got a bit lucky. But the second pass, I lost quite a bit of time. Brandon and I can't remember who else it was, but they came right up onto the back of me. It was still all good. It was a couple times where you're not sure whether you're going to pull it up in time. It gets a little bit sketchy in places around here, but. It wasn't too bad.
Oh, man, I tell you what, we enjoyed the racing here tonight. You got yourself on a podium, plenty of points to be grabbed tonight here for you tonight, mate. So congratulations to yourself and the Frog Leap Juice Racing team. And it is now all up to you to shout out all your sponsors and people that keep you guys out here on track.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, big thank you to Juiced Energy, simrigs.com, Racecraft, Hyperion Systems, Soodspeed Gloves, and the Pet Door Company. Cheers, guys.
Nice, mate. Cheers, buddy, and we look forward to seeing you back out here on track next week.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that was Scott Hassler from Frog Leap Juice Racing taking in third place in GTP. We are now going to move on to Mr. Brandon Grosh. Good evening, Brandon. Am I saying your last name correct?
Kind of. Like, you're probably the closest I've heard. It's pronounced...
It's pronounced what, mate? You cut out there for a second.
It's pronounced grok.
Grok. Okay, so it's not a ch, it's just a k.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon Grok. All right, mate. You're lucky I asked you that, because usually what happens is when I'm commentating, I pronounce someone's last name wrong, and I will stay pronouncing it that way until someone says otherwise. And then just like what happened with Mr. Joe Mahoney, even though it is pronounced Marnie, he didn't tell me for like 2 seasons in, so it's bad luck now. It's stuck. I get to choose how his last name is pronounced. But either way, mate, great race from the Frog Leaped team. How do you feel the race went? Not for yourself, but as a team.
Just on the GTP side, I thought it went very well. I knew Scott was going to be very fast. I surprised myself, but the first half of it was pretty much perfect. Created a gap, got out in the lead, was running comfortably and smooth. GT3 traffic was a little bit to navigate, but we got through it, pitted, and then the safety car happened.
And it pulled everybody on top of each other again.
Yeah, I still don't know how Troy managed to jump us. We were very surprised with him coming out in front of us, but we battled on and I decided to go for a bit of ascent and kind of screwed a lot of things over, but we got back to the podium in the end.
Yeah, well, you ended up on the podium, and somehow Troy ended up 28th overall. So something happened to him, and he plummeted through the field, mate. So I suppose that's fortunate for you guys, but unfortunate for Troy. But I tell you what, 2 Frog Leap guys on the podium here this evening at Monza. Huge congratulations. You get a double up. You get to shout your sponsors out again for a second time. So let's give it up for the Frog Leap boys landing on a double spot on the podium tonight.
I'd like to thank all of our sponsors at Frog Leap Juiced Racing, Juiced Energy, Simrigs.com, Racecraft, Hyperion Systems, Sudspeed Gloves, and the Pet Door Company. And I'd like to thank all the boys from the Frog Leap team for all their support and just general goodness.
General goodness. I like that, mate. It's good to hear how great and inviting all the teams are across the SRW league, mate. That's all we hear. A lot of camaraderie across all the teams, mate. So great to hear that you're enjoying it out there with the Frog Leap team. And I tell you what, we look forward to seeing you and the Frog Leap team back out here next Friday.
Same here. Let's bring on Road America.
Yeah, mate, that is going to be a cracker. All right, Brandon. Well, hopefully we'll get to talk to you again next week, mate. Go and celebrate with the team. It is Friday night, so go and enjoy the weekend.
I think it's time for a beer now.
Yeah, mate, go and you deserve it.
Thanks, fellas.
All right,
thanks for the night.
Too easy, buddy. Catch you next time. All right, last but not least, of course, we have our GTP podium P1, and I've lost Discord. That is Mr. Jake Edwards. Good evening, Jake.
How are we, boys?
Good, mate. See what's been. It's been a while since I spoke to either you and Husey, so it's good to be back on the mics where you guys are racing. What a cracking race for the crisscross team tonight.
Yeah, it was actually nice. Hey, it's been a while since I've spoken to you, Nathan. So it's good to hear your voice.
Oh, mate, I've been all over the broadcast at the moment. I've been waiting for people to tell me, get Shibby off the bloody microphone. He has no idea what he's talking about, and I totally agree with them.
At least you got Peter there. At least he can cover for you.
Yep. He can. He does a good job, actually. It's great to have Pete back on the team, too. So, mate, I tell you what.
I'll
right,
chime
Pete,
in now. I'll chime in
go.
now, Jake. Just as you said that, I've left him hanging these whole interviews because I didn't want to drag it out too long. But
and I've dragged it out.
And I'll just make one statement, and then I'll follow up with a question, mate. First of all, congratulations. That was a pretty good race. There was a little bit happening, and you kept your nose clean for the most part. You got some pace in these things, mate. What are you and the team doing? Because you're looking pretty fiery in these cars, and well, you took out P1 here. I think it's your first one for the season.
Yeah, it is my first one for the season, mate. Which been a while. I don't know where all this pace is coming from. We've just been doing all those special endurance events, in these cars. So I've actually quite gelled with it. Just been loving it. So that's where all my pace has been coming through, is just practice from all those special events.
Yeah, and Monza's a great track, and everyone's done heaps of laps around here. But I'll throw it back to Shibs, and yeah, great win, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, I thought you were going to finish off the questions, mate. No, yeah, solid race tonight, mate. For the crisscross team across the board, great to see you getting out there and getting that practice in, because it really does make a big difference when it comes to race night. We really did think that safety car was going to really bunch the field up, and we thought we were going to see a 10-minute sprint race where, you know, the top 5, top 6 are going to be battling it out all the way to the finish line across the GTPs and the GT3s, mate. But it seems like after that safety car let you guys go, you were just in a different level, mate. You just drove it out of there to over a second away, and that's where you stayed for the final 10 minutes. So that was a cracking drive, mate.
Yeah, it was good, man. Once the safety car came out, because I pitted the lap before, and I was like, I might just try something new. So I took fronts. I don't think any of the other boys took any tyres at all. So I took fronts. And then that safety car came out the lap later. So then I was able to actually warm up my fronts and not lose too much time during the race itself, if that makes sense. And then I was able to just use the fronts, burn them up a bit, and then try and just push through. And I was lucky enough that Troy, I think it was Scott and Brendan came together for a second there, and then I got through.
So that explains why Troy ended up in P28. So
yeah, I think he ended up. I think he got bumped wide and then just spun or something. I'm not too sure what actually happened to him, but I felt sorry for the guy.
Yeah, there was definitely some great racing out there tonight, and I tell you what, Pete and I both highly enjoyed being behind the cameras and the broadcast, mate. So huge congratulations to yourself and the Crisscross Racing team. Anybody you would like to shout out tonight who keeps you guys out here on track and racing?
Yeah, I'll shout out to you boys for putting in a late stint for us every week, man. Every night you guys are always up late, which is pretty solid from you guys. I don't know how you do it. Shout out to Crisscross for having me on board. So Shunt Scenery as well, Palmerston Bakery, DSM Painting Contractors, Jennifer Russell Real Estate, Doom Designs, and Pool Master Bayside, man.
You want to know how I do it every night? I don't have another job.
Yeah, you're a lucky boy.
Yeah. Until now, I actually went for an interview today, and I start my new career as a hardware tech in a company as of next week. So,
well, congratulations to you, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I'll still be here every night though, so everybody's still got to put up with my voice. So good luck to everybody out there. But great race tonight, mate. And I tell you what, I'm definitely looking forward to whether I'm behind the scenes here with the broadcast team or just catching some replays of the IMSA Shadow Series, mate, because I tell you what, you guys did a phenomenal job tonight, and a huge shout out to, of course, all you drivers out here, mate. So get out there. It's Friday. Go and celebrate with your team, or get out of the house, go touch some grass, do whatever normal people do, mate, and we will see you out here next week.
Thanks, mate. Too easy.
Have a good one, Jake.
See you, boys.
Well, Pete, I said I like quick interviews, but we're running ahead of time anyway, mate. But what a race tonight, hey?
Yeah, it was a cracker. It was shame for the start. I was watching them numbers too damn hard. But those the battles in amongst again just showed what these guys are made of. And I said at the top of the broadcast, it's funny how the traffic, or they catch each other, and they sometimes change the dynamic at the back end of the race, and that happened here at Monza as well. So next week I'm hoping that happens. Well, the drivers probably don't, but I do, watching on, because it adds that, it spices it up, doesn't it, for the and we finish nicely, and we finish like we did, and we had a late safety car once again, Shibby, so that spiced things up. But enjoying the multi-class at the minute.
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's great to, as I said during the broadcast, great to get out there and get involved with some of the other series broadcasts, mate. And it's great to be on a broadcast with yourself. You and I have spoken a lot over the last 2 years of me being here with SRW, and I know you've definitely taught me a thing or two. So definitely awesome to have you back on board, mate. It was a great night. I highly enjoyed it. Massive shout out to, of course, Warren and Brown and Tools for allowing us to put on this fantastic IMSA Shadow Series of cross racecraft simulations for our qualifying session, and all our other sponsors that have been spinning around on the screen all through this broadcast. We couldn't do without them as well. All their links are down in the description. Go click them. We have affiliate links. You can get some discounts as well through some of them. So go check them out. Support them like they do support us. I have been Nathan Shibby Howard. The man behind the stream and all the cameras tonight has been Peter Gretton. And we're going to end this broadcast by saying stay safe and race hard.
Turn one